Hey guys, it's your boy Sarfnic 2 here with some quality content for you. So, I'm home for the weekend from college and I'm deciding to produce some Sarfnic 2 videos for you guys, including a reaction to the upcoming Minecraft Live event. That'll be coming out shortly after this one. But we're going to do a tier list today, and yes, I'm not using the regular site because I am cheap and boring, whatever. So, I have this beautiful, hot tier list right here, and we're going to be reviewing Spring Break. So this is personal for me. You all can put your comments down, whatever. It's going to be completely different for you because your life's going to be different than mine. Unless you're my family, then maybe you'll probably have similar opinions. But even though my family members probably would disagree or agree with some things on this. So, yeah, I'm going to do Summer Breaks tomorrow or whenever, just next. But I'll record it tomorrow. So, yeah, we're going to discuss Spring Breaks from 2013 all the way to 2021. So, this is the break we tend to get in the spring months, which is usually tied between March or April. That's also an and, sometimes it's both. So yeah, I'm going to review them. And we're going to start off with the lovely, and I don't know, I feel like this color needs to be pink for some reason, 2013. That's actually good. I like this. So, 2013, for that year I went to Washington, D.C. We stayed with this family that is probably the richest people my parents know. They're Indian, and we're Indian too, so that's probably why we're friends. And their kids were complete dickwads. This was the first year I ever played Minecraft, and their daughter, they have a daughter and a son, and they understood Minecraft, but their kids were still dickwads. So that's really all that happened that year. So I'm gonna put it in D. By the way, there's no real order. Like if something is in front of something in S, they're just both S. It's kind of it. So yeah, 2013, I put it as a D. Probably one of the worst spring breaks I've ever gone. And then we have 2014. I feel like this needs a brown color. I like that one, yeah. So this year, went to New York City, Connecticut, and there's another place we probably went to. I think we went to New Jersey as well. So this was a good trip. So there were some guys there's like this Australian family that used to go to my elementary school and live right in the neighborhood nearby. Then they moved to New York. We still haven't seen them since then. Their dad was a bit of a D. I know. I'm saying that everyone's dickwad, but trust me, we'll get to the good stuff later. So honestly, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good either. I think it's a B. And we also stayed with some family members in. I remember they were addicted to like the movie Nuts, like some dumb anime movie about animals. I don't remember. I was really into Adventure Time in 2014. So I remember I was playing the game. I was watching YouTube videos about them and stuff, like Minecraft YouTube videos about them. It was amazing time, and it was a good time to be alive. And seeing New York is pretty awesome. I'll admit that. I enjoyed New York. It's definitely pretty cool. Next, we have 2015. I feel like I went over that last one kind of fast. I think this one needs a green color. There we go. S tier. This is the best trip ever. This is the best spring break trip I've gone on in my life ever. So we went to like Seattle, and then this is in Pacific Northwest because we also went to Portland, Oregon. So Seattle, Washington. We stayed with this family. These two girls. They were really awesome. I had so much fun. I know my brothers didn't have as much fun, but I had so much fun playing with these kids. I think I technically had met them before, but they were babies. So they were like really young back then. I forgot to mention, I was in 6th grade for this. I was in 5th grade for this, and I was in 4th grade for this, and I'll talk about my grades for the other stuff after. It was one of the most amazing trips ever. And then we went to Portland, Oregon for a bit. We drove south for a bit, like a day, and we met up with this family that, again, this girl who, back then I didn't really think so. We had like kind of like a frenemy relationship. And now I actually think she looked pretty good back then. Apparently she looks pretty good right now. She's like, I think probably 17. And I'm 18, so I can date anyone who's 16. Or who's above 16, I mean. So, anyways, back to actually staying on track here. She also lived like directly in the neighborhood, like across the street, but moved. In fact, actually, I think some of our neighbors still remember this girl. She was pretty awesome. And it was pretty chill meeting with her. I was really into FNF in Minecraft. I already met my friend Birdlark, who you see on the channel. And I meet Warcries later this year in Aramis, but I hadn't met them at the time yet. And then we actually went back to Seattle and hung out with these kids a little more. It was so fun, just exploring Seattle, seeing all the parks. I wasn't used to mountainous terrain. Also, when I was in Oregon, we went to like this beach and this waterfall. They're very famous. I think the beach is from the Goonies, and this waterfall is like a really famous waterfall place. So, overall, good year. Yeah, probably one of the best. Might be the only S tier. 2016. I feel like this should be yellow. I don't know how I keep coming up with these colors. Yeah, again, yellow is a pretty bad color, but we'll keep it anyways. I didn't mean yellow's a bad color. Yellow's literally my favorite color, by the way. I'm pretty rare like that, but it's a bad color for like a white background. So this year I went to New Orleans. My grandparents and my cousin as well. Pretty dope. My older brother and my cousin just fucked around this whole time. This was the first year I actually had a phone. unfortunately, dumbass me lost all my photos in 2018, so I don't have any photos from this anymore. So, but doesn't matter. It was such a fun trip. To be fair, it was kind of boring compared to other trips. I honestly actually put it as high C tier, but I'm gonna put it in C tier anyways. I had some fun boat times. I was really into like Minecraft story mode, and that's when I got into like Clash Royale and stuff. So it's pretty nostalgic. 2016 was a pretty nostalgic year, but that trip was alright. I think we stayed at like a pretty shitty hotel, and I got sick too. But there was this really fun day at the pool where I met this like guy and this girl. I don't think they even knew each other either, and we just played like Marco Polo. It was really fun. So I really enjoyed that part of it. And exploring, I think the best part of New Orleans is when we left the main city, because I'm not really a fan of like urban areas, but when like we went to like all these parks and stuff, it's pretty nice, and like this graveyard. So yeah, I think overall it was okay. Top C tier, I guess. Next up, we have 2017. I think it should be red. Boom. So this year, I went to Los Angeles, California. Now this feels like just yesterday, despite being March 2017. So this was a pretty fun time. I'd say it's definitely A tier. So went to stay with some. Technically, they're not my cousins. They're my cousins, like my actual blood cousins, but we're still very friendly. Pretty close to my parents and their daughter, who was like half the age she is now back then. And they had a pretty nice house in LA. I heard they just moved recently. In the hills. I also had photos of it and stuff, but most of it's gone now. Most of it I'm saying is because I actually sent some of them through Discord. So it was pretty nice. I really enjoyed it. Good to see the Warner Bros. Studios and stuff. The vibes of LA is pretty nice. Venice Beach is nice. We didn't really leave like the LA area that much, but it was a really fun trip. And there's not really much I can say. It was really fun, but I can't really talk about everything. Also, one of my neighbors who knew the girl that I mentioned in 2015 also was there at the time, and we hung out with them. And she had like a friend from a summer camp that we spent some time with for a little bit. LA is a good city. It's kind of busy, but it's very famous, and I think you should visit it at some point, especially if you're older. By older, I mean like teenager years, like 18, 19. But I literally again forgot to update you guys on the grades. 2016, I was in 7th grade, and this year I was in 8th grade. So, yeah. And since it's at like the start of the year, but like the end of the school year, I was always like the older age. So like in 2015, I was 12, and 2016 I was, because like, my birthday is January 29th, and these are March and April. I'm rambling, but it was a really fun trip overall. I loved it a lot, and I played a lot of phone games. Next up, we have 2018. I think this should be blue. Yeah, let's get a light blue color for this. This was the first time we didn't really take a plane on a trip. Actually, in fact, my family split up, so I'm only describing my trip. I went with my grandparents. Now, my grandparents from Milwaukee. Now, recently my grandpa died, so I kind of hold it higher. I'd say it would be like a high B tier, but because of that, I feel like it's higher, but I think it's still a B tier nonetheless. So, we went to like a bunch of museums and stuff. It was like right after this trip where I lost all my photos from 2016 to 2018. I really don't have any photos of this, but I have some Snapchats and stuff, so it's pretty fun. It was a really fun time. Went to a bunch of museums. Went to this like children's museum I hadn't gone to since like, I don't know, like probably 2013 before then. So, a lot of nostalgia on that. Watched some movies. Like some legendary movies we watched actually. Like I'm trying to remember that this one movie about this Nigerian prince guy. It was so funny that I'd seen like a long time ago before. I got to drive around a lot. It was kind of like reminiscent of a trip I went on in summer 2017, which we will be discussing in the summer videos and stuff. That video is going to be a lot more fun because I can actually go in depth because a lot of things happen in the summer. The summer is like 3 months. This is literally like 1 week. But I enjoyed it. I was in 9th grade at the time, by the way. It's a pretty nice break. I was also getting a little sad around that time, or at least just getting a little tired of like kind of like school. So it was pretty nice to take a break and just enjoy some places. And I'm pretty sure I think we visited some other museums, but I can't really remember too much. Kind of a while back. And oh yeah, this is the first trip I had my YouTube channel for, so I actually remember making a YouTube video and like releasing right before going on this trip. Alright, 2019. This one's a good one. The color, let's go purple actually. So, this year was probably the biggest and most expensive trip out of all of these and out of all of them ever. Hint, hint. Kind of giving you spoilers for the future. This was when I went to England. Now you guys remember this, I was pretty big on YouTube back then. Yeah, England was a really fun time. Also, realized I forgot to mention what I was into back in 2018 and 2017. So for 2017, dumbass me, keep fucking forgetting about this shit, dude. I was really into Minecraft at the time, and I was like interacting with war cries and stuff. We hadn't done Hearth SMP yet. It was like right before we did Hearth SMP, but we had been playing on other SMPs and was pretty into that stuff. I was really good friends with war cries back then. And in 2018, yeah, really not much was happening. Hearth SMP Season 3 had just concluded, so I guess that was kind of a break from a lot of that type of stuff. Anyways, now back 2019. I was in 10th grade. I was a sophomore. This feels like very short ago now. Like, this is the point where my time perception has changed to be really fast. Like, we're as close to 2019 now. Actually, we're actually farther from 2019 now than 2019 was from 2017, which is shocking. Like, it does not feel that way at all. But anyways, went to England. It was one of the funnest trips ever. Got to visit so many places. I got to go to Bath. I got to go to London. I got to go to, like, outskirts of London and stuff. And it was very dope because I was really not expecting it to be that fun. Like, I thought England to be like a fancy schmancy place, but it's very a lot like America. It's a lot different, you know, what side the road they drive on and stuff. Got to meet some of my family members that I'd never met because they live in England. It's kind of far away, and they don't come over here really. So I got to also see some museums, and there's some really fun parks, like this rich mansion. And don't forget the Tower of London. I love the Tower of London, and the Tower Bridge, and the London Bridge, and I love London as a city as a whole, and like that one square, which I literally remember the name of randomly, but I can't remember now. So much fun, man. So much fun. And yes, I have all the photos because my phone didn't reset since then. It actually reset one more time in 2019, though, like in February 2019. We also had an issue where I lost a bunch of photos. It's stupid, but we're good now. And back then, I was into SCP Secret Laboratory a lot. Also was into, I guess I was just into Minecraft back then, too. And YouTube. 2020. What color does this get? I'm just going to give it a plain-ass black. So, look, I had a trip planned. I was going to go to Dubai. Still haven't done this, by the way. And I'm not even sure if I'm ever going to do it now. But sadly, the pandemic rolled around, and it was planned for like April 2020. It was going to be so much fun. Never happened. So this is dog shit. But I honestly think it needs to just go back here. So yeah, that was 2020. Nothing really happened. And then we're on to the last one. 2021. Everyone's like, are you going to use orange yet? There you go. So 2021 was a pretty simple, I'd say actually C tier. I'd say it's above 2016, but I just don't want to switch these around. Plus I said order doesn't matter. It was high C tier. Do not get me wrong. It wasn't a boring trip. It was just that not a lot happened because of the pandemic still being a thing in 2021. In April of 2021 when it happened. I went to Florida to stay at my Floridian grandparents. Now, I'd actually done that twice in summer of 2018 and summer of 2019 before. This time we decided to do it in spring of 2021 because they wanted me to come, and I was like, you know what, yeah, I might as well come. Also, I wanted to see what it was like in spring, and it is slightly colder in spring, but it's still pretty hot out. And literally everything looks the same. Like the previous two times I went, it was July and August, and then I went in March/April, and literally everything looks the exact same. The trees look the exact same. Everything looks the same, except it's not hurricane season. That's like the only difference. So it like rains less. That's it. But if you go to like my home city in Illinois, you compare it March, April versus June, July, August. It looks way different. I went to this we stayed with them for a bit, and then we went to this little place called Fort Pierce, which is a bit more north, and kind of like the east regions of Florida. The pandemic didn't really affect that place, but it was just like a small little city just to hang out at. There wasn't too much going on. So, not really much happened. I'm sorry. Then we kind of like just hung around Florida, where they live, around like Fort Lauderdale. Yes, I am doxing them 100%. Is pretty dope. It's pretty quiet. It was way better when I went in 2018 and 2019, but we'll talk about those in the next video. So, yeah, honestly, not really too good a trip, but what can you expect with the coronavirus around? And actually, they want me to come back in 2022, and I'm down with that. I was thinking I'm preparing a lot of plans for 2022 spring break, because that's kind of on the way. We're less than 6 months away from it now. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for my spring breaks tier list. It was alright. I can't wait till we get to the summer ones, because I'm pretty sure summer 2021 is S tier, by the way, so can't wait for that. Overall, it was fine. I loved 2015. I didn't really explain it. I kind of did the bad job this video. Like, I kind of forgot to explain stuff. Like, oh, look, I forgot already. 2020, I was in 11th grade. And 2021, I was in 12th grade. And when I say 13th grade for the next one, I'm just going to say freshman in college, like what I am right now. I honestly couldn't really explain everything, like why I loved 2015. I couldn't explain all of it because kind of just personal stuff that's not really going to be interesting to talk about, and I'd probably leave out details anyways. But you can understand all of this. I hope we can get some S tiers in the future for spring breaks. I don't know. Maybe one day. So 2013 is when we started like the family trips trend, and that's how I can't remember past it. But I'm pretty sure I went to Florida a lot back in the day for spring breaks, and I'm pretty sure they'd probably be C tier, so yeah. Oh, and I'm interested to see what you guys have to say in the comments, like if I don't know, like war cries in the comment section trying to say something like, Well, actually, I thought 2018 was pretty chill, but I thought 2015 was trash. Like, whatever. It's your life, completely different experiences.